What do you guys think? You're going to come back tomorrow, have more fun?
Yeah! It's really fun.
As a welcome present, we got you some very hot weather and also an even hotter baseball
You know what?
team.
That's fine.
So you're welcome.
I like it. That's great. Let's jump right in. Sports. You mentioned the Twins. They had a wonderful day today. Despite Kansas City coming out with strong pitching, the Twins shut them out and swept them in the series today. Djokovic, #1 men's tennis player in the world, celebrated by eating part of the grass court. I think Les Miles would like a word with him about that.
Strange way to celebrate, I guess.
Yeah, but it's how you do it, I guess.
I guess.
Baseball is all about one thing. You guys having fun tonight?
Yeah!
That's exactly what the Twins are trying to accomplish.
In the meantime, the Minnesota Twins are taking on Tampa Bay another round tonight at 7:10, guys. So it'll be a lot of fun.
For sure. Do you have new respect for the Bomb Squad guys after wearing all that gear?
You know, I have always had a lot of respect for the Bomb Squad, but even more so knowing how heavy and hot this gear is. I mean, they said they can only wear this stuff for 20 minutes at a time, and that's professionals in the full suit. I'm only wearing the top, and the visor is up, and I'm still starting to suffer a little bit.
It is mind-blowing. This entire facility almost seems like overkill, but it's amazing. I'm enjoying it. Of course, you have planes
coming out. I didn't know there was been red ice until tonight.
Right. Mother Nature smiled on your Minnesota Twins today. The team got to take on the Atlanta Braves tonight, and this series is going to be a dogfight. The first 4 innings of this were a dueling game. Minnesota Twins, Jake Odorizzi, the starting pitcher, in 6 innings, he threw 7 strikeouts, gave up 5 hits. And Atlanta's Mike Soroka pitched 7 innings. He gave up 6 hits, and he struck out 3. Scoring first tonight, the Twins. 4th inning, that's Luis Arraez firing into left field. That scores 2. Here come Eddie Rosario and Nelson Cruz. 5th inning, Atlanta strikes back. That's Freddie Freeman with the home run. But you can't out-twin the Twins. Max Kepler, 5th inning, like a cannon. 31 homers for him this season. Looking good. Here's the thing. This game ended up tied in the 7th inning. So bring on Miguel Sano, the hero we needed in the 9th inning. That is a walk-off homer. 5-3 is the final score tonight. They'll do it again tomorrow. And despite a little rain earlier today, training camp continues for the Minnesota Vikings. This week, the team will play its first preseason game at the New Orleans Saints. They will leave town Thursday, so it's all preparation this week. Kyle Rudolph was held out of the scrimmage on Saturday and on practice today. Nothing to be alarmed about. He was stretching, staying limber, no need to overtax his body. Mike Zimmer is a little bit more pleased with the defensive effort this week. They seem to respond to last week's kick in the pants. That you would have noticed if you saw Saturday's scrimmage. Look at this play. Stephen Weatherly, the defensive end, he stepped up, put an end to that offensive attack. And then linebacker Eric Wilson, looking real good here, picking off Kirk Cousins. And then one more play for good measure. This one's not a defensive play, but it is a good one. The receiver, Jeff Badette, on this play, unreal catch. You might call that a circus catch. Did everything he had to do to bring that ball in. Anyway, Zimmer's pleased with the defense, responding to criticism and performing like they're supposed to.
No, they've done better since we've had a little chat. They've done a lot better. So they're on the right track. We just got to continue going. Understand we got to go out every day and compete and perform and try to get better each and every day.
We'll take a break now, but when we come back, more good news about the Twins. Welcome back. The Minnesota Twins are still ahead of their closest competitor in the division by at least 3 games now. They swept the Kansas City Royals and they kicked off 3 games with the Atlanta Braves tonight at Target Field and, of course, won. ESPN has named the Twins one of the 4 top teams to watch, with a nearly 98% chance of making the playoffs and an 8.2% chance of winning the World Series. All they do is offer theories about sports all day, so one might tend to put a little stock in their opinions, especially when you agree with them. We call that confirmation bias, but we don't care. Twins are good. Baseball is fun. Fun is good. They've been ranked behind the Houston Astros as the favorite, then the LA Dodgers and the New York Yankees. The Minnesota Lynx are back in action on Tuesday. They are on the road. They will take on the Atlanta Dream. In Minnesota's last outing, we saw a blown 20-point lead, leading to a 4th straight loss. Atlanta is actually faring worse. The Dream have lost 7 straight. Not going to call it a nightmare. That pun's too easy. Shooting percentage is troublesome for the Dream, and the Lynx are due for a win. Tip-off Tuesday night, 6 p.m. And we'll be right back with a final look at your forecast. So tell me a little bit about why.
Well, you know, the reason why is I've been a baseball card collector since I was a little kid. But I realized later on that there was this whole major leagues with players that were not recognized, the Negro League Major Leagues. And they were fantastic players, and they interacted with the traditional Major League all the time. They had games and scrimmages, but they never had any good pictures or photographs. So I dedicated myself to developing a series of between 100 and 200 paintings of the players that we could turn into exhibits and also into baseball cards. So that's how it started. Back in the day, they had very few or no color photographs. So by painting color paintings of these, it brings them to life.
For a passion project like this,
and I hired another biographer to get all the information on the players. So we're really trying to develop an awareness about the Negro Leagues, and it's been fantastic. We're so glad that the Saints were kind enough to host this at CHS Field.
teamwork makes all the difference.
So show me a little bit about your process with the.
I work with another fellow. We do it together, very much like the Damien Hirst model. So I'm kind of the director. I get all the broad strokes. I pick all the colors. I do the research on the uniforms, the skin color, the eye color, the backgrounds. I do all the broad work, and then he'll do all the details. I couldn't do it without him. He couldn't do it without me. So we're a team, and he's based in Vietnam. So we work together.
How do you do that?
Internet. or as I tease my kids, the webnet.
Dr. Charles Crutchfield III has one goal for this project.
What is it that you want people to get from this?
So the goal is to bring these people to the awareness of all the Minnesotans and people across the country. We're looking at doing an exhibit at the Negro League Baseball Museum and at the Jackie Robinson Museum in New York. So we're working on that right now. We put some of the popular ones and the not so popular ones to expose everyone to these great baseball stars.
Yeah, and especially in an area like this where baseball's big. I mean, you've got the Saints, you've got the Twins, you've got colleges everywhere. You've got summer college leagues, high schools.
And one of my friends, Tony Oliva, he's a great Twin star. He grew up in Cuba, but many of these players, he said, these were his idols growing up. And he said, walking around, he said it's like a trip through memory lane, visiting old friends and old idols of his when he played in Cuba. And he knew about all these guys because a lot of these guys in the winter, they go play winter baseball down in Cuba and in Mexico. So he knew about all these guys.
Like you said, this is just the beginning. 40 images on display, and he's got nearly 200 in all. He's planning to expand the exhibition.
Norman's here. It's July, so we must be talking about the Vikings.
Yes, Frank, we are. The Minnesota Vikings training camp is about to switch gears. It's been all about the rookies so far, but tomorrow the veteran players will get on the field for full team activities. One thing you'll see here, Kirk Cousins scrambling. This is new and probably good. One rookie player we'd like to call your attention to this evening, Irv Smith Jr. Second-round pick, tight end. He played for Alabama, and he's getting used to life in the pros. Even coming from an SEC program, Viking rookie Irv Smith Jr. is soaking up everything he can from
little things that they see. You know, in this game, the NFL, is about the little things. So
sure, they have to learn in the wildly temperamental Minnesota summer, but it's a far cry from what his father went through with the New Orleans Saints.
He said it was rough, you know, we got it easy now. That's what he says. But, you know, I just mess with him. The game's different than then, you know, and they try to look out for us and our bodies. But, yeah, he said he used to have to get an IV, like, between practices, all kind of stuff. So it's good we don't have to do that now.
With advancements in player safety, Smith gets to focus more on what matters, winning.
You know, every day I try to take one thing to work on. You know, I really try to pride myself on, you know, being a complete tight end and just learning the plays. So, you know, every day just coming in with that mindset of coming in and trying to, you know, just focus on one thing and get better.
We'll be sticking with training camp, of course. But can we agree that the Minnesota Twins series with the New York Yankees was fun? It was. They are fun to watch because you can believe in them. Whatever changes are on the way, we're looking at a contender right now. Byron Buxton has been reinstated. The team is on the road now to face the Chicago White Sox. Now, the White Sox are struggling, not quite as badly as, say, Detroit, but they're 15 games out of first place in the American League Central. Right now, the Twins' closest competitor in the division is Cleveland. Now, to suggest the Twins will run all over the White Sox would be to ignore how fickle a game baseball is. So we'll just refer you to Taylor Rogers.
We play Major League ball clubs every day. Yeah. You know, there's no, you know, like, it doesn't matter. You could say that the teams we're playing, you know, later on have lesser records or whatever, but they're still Major League ball players. Yeah. So, like you say, it doesn't matter, you know, whether we're playing the Yankees or the Royals. They're still playing Major Leaguers.
Can't say that any better than he can. Twins at White Sox. First pitch just after 7. Minnesota United has not lost in their last 7 matches against Major League Soccer opponents, but you also have to include a draw against Real Salt Lake. And yet head coach Adrian Heath was upset today. Why? Practice. He says training was not good today. He's so bothered by it that he's considered changing the starting lineup for Saturday's match against Vancouver. It's not necessarily that the Loons don't know how to handle success. He's just taken serious issue with a lack of effort.
They're not prepared to train this morning. It's nothing to do with not having too many games or whatever. It comes from the fact that everybody thinks it's easy now, and we've cracked the code and it's dead easy. I've been doing this too long to know it doesn't. It can change just as quickly as it changed for us to get on this roll. Because they might have forgot that we'd lost the three previous before that. I haven't. And I work with them every single day, so.
It's like saying the Loons are suffering from success or something like that.
Coach Heath calling them out.
He is, so they should turn that around. We'll be fine.
All right. Thanks, Norman.
So how good are you at golf?
I wouldn't say I'm great. I mostly play just for fun.
Will Vogel is getting a quick golf lesson at the LPGA Championship.
Okay.
And live on the practice screen, okay?
Yep.
And I do mean quick.
A little tricky, yep. Would love to have a little more time with everybody, that's for sure.
Pro golfer Jeff Bass only gets to spend 15 minutes with students at Hazeltine, but he makes every one of them count.
So I really have a special affinity for working with beginners and love working with kids.
Because golf is a game for everyone. One half of the fun at these tournaments is watching the pros at work, and the other half is working on the skills yourself.
Sometimes you try to cram too much into that time, so for newer golfers, I would encourage them to look at a series of lessons.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd you like learning?
It was fun. Yeah, lots of good things to know.
I'm sure he taught you a lot today. Huh?
Will's going to do great, no doubt about it.
Will's short game just got a little boost.
If they can take one thing home that helps them out, then we're excited about that.
And mine did too.
Good. And also that brought the height of the shot down quite a bit.
Yeah, it did. Anyone can learn this.
Crisp that contact was too.
Yeah.
The ball just kind of jumps off the club.
That felt a lot better. Yeah. I think my dad will thank you for this one.
I want him to not thank me. I want you getting in his pocket.
So. In Chaska, Norman Seawright, WCCO4 Sports.
Okay. Norman Seawright takes us out to the ball game for an unforgettable experience.
These are the best days to remember, right?
Ford Field. The site of a playoff game between the Highland Ball Club's A's
1, 2, 3, A's!
and the Brewers.
Charlie!
With a little extra flair.
They approached me with this opportunity. I decided to take it.
It's also the Minnesota Twins Youth Takeover.
The exact idea is exactly that. Bring Target Field to these kids, give these kids the big league experience. We have our Adam Abrams, our PA announcers here.
Number 8, Nolan Mortensen.
Our organist is here.
Even if just for today, the kids get to live a dream and meet Twins pitcher Taylor Rogers.
Oh, nice hit, Abe! Put that in play, let's go!
They see the game for what it is, and it's fun.
Good eye, good eye, good eye! Okay, on every pitch that's a ball, you say G-W-O-D, E, good eye. G-W-O-D, E,
Good eye.
It's just our chance to kind of make these kids, give them a really cool experience that they're never going to forget.
That's why we hustle.
It's a big community for baseball.
Twins are always great with the community. Yeah, it's definitely a part of the fiber of, Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Major League Baseball players are their heroes, so brush with fame. Having a player here and just having the whole experience, their energy is just off the charts.
Baseball is all about one thing. You guys having fun tonight?
Yeah!
That's exactly what the Twins are trying to accomplish out here in St. Paul. From St. Paul, Norman Seawright, WCCO 4 News.